Hello again, welcome to today's attempt at the Fibble puzzle. This is just like Wordle, but there's one lying clue in every row. So it's auto-populated, that first guess. Maybe the R shouldn't be yellow, but if it isn't, maybe it should be grey, maybe it should be green, we just don't know. Or maybe the O or the E is lying instead. So I'm going to try glove, because I want to keep the O and the E there to find out some more information. And what I've learnt, I'm going to assume that the V is lying there and the R is lying there, because that probably gives me the least amount of information possible. So let's keep the O and the E. Let's try and stoke the fire. Oh, okay. So I think we've probably got the S correct. Maybe the T is lying. Maybe there's no T. So can I think of an S blank O blank E word that doesn't use R, V, T or any of the other letters that we've got in grey? It can't be score. It can't be shove. I can only think of words that use some of those letters that we've ruled out. So okay, maybe the T is telling the truth, maybe the S is lying. It could be those. The S could be lying, but it could actually be yellow. Oh. Okay, so if the S is lying here, if it's not in the word, oh, it could be whose. It still could be in the word. Or if it's not in the word, then maybe the C comes first, but then I don't know what would come fourth. Let's try whose. Oh no. Okay, so that's very useful, I think. So on these two rows, the H is lying on one of them and the S is lying on the other. So that means the T can't be lying here, because we've ruled out, we've used up our lie on that row. It's either the H or the S. So the T is not lying, so the T is not in the word, so the T is definitely lying up here, which means that the S is definitely first, which means it's surely not going to be fourth. So the S is lying there, which means the H is lying there, so it's definitely S blank O blank E. And it definitely means there's no K. It definitely means there's no V, because the V is not going to come second. The R might not be the liar, the N might be the liar, because it could be snore. Oh, what does this mean? Oh, the P is the liar, sorry, not the N. It could have been the N, but it is actually the P, because clearly the E is lying here, so it definitely is S blank O R E. So the R is telling the truth up here, which means the only other letter that could be lying is the P. It is in the word after all that. It's going to be spore, surely. Wow, what a weird one! I assumed we only had 2 letters correct on that first guess, but we actually had 4, and I just didn't know it. So that is Fibble in 6, because of course it populated the first one for me, so that doesn't count as one of the guesses. So that's definitely not my best, but I have failed this before, on at least one occasion, because it can definitely be difficult. You saw how it's really awkward trying to work out what's true and what's false. I was lucky that the O and the E were just so consistent, because if one of those had been yellow on row 2, for example, I really wouldn't have known what to trust. But anyway, we got there in the end. That is the Fibble puzzle. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.